Spiritually awakening is like finally breaking the surface after a long dive. Suddenly, you find yourself gasping for the fresh air of reality while others keep swimming in a pool of illusions. This awakening changes the essence of your existence. From that moment, there's no turning back. The doors behind you close, and all that remains is the path ahead. In this newfound freedom, you also discover a sense of confinement. It's like standing on top of a mountain, breathing the pure air but looking down and seeing the people you care about trapped in the valley below. They seem satisfied, immersed in their daily routines, seeking comfort, power, and the illusion of control. You can't help but wonder, is my awakening a blessing or a burden? Why do I seek self-knowledge when others are content with their chosen ignorance? It's a challenging journey, but rest assured, the effort is worth it. Although the terrain may be rough, the landscapes you witness are beyond imagination. However, like any transformative experience, spiritual awakening comes with its own set of side effects. They are neither good nor bad. They simply exist. Think of it as a period of adjustment, like acclimatizing to a new altitude. You're breathing different air now, and it may take time to adjust. Let's delve into the lesser-known side effects of spiritual awakening, those silent whispers no one prepares you for, but nearly everyone experiences. Now imagine this. You've just opened your eyes after being submerged in a vivid dream, and for a moment, everything is silent. Then, reality creeps in, replacing the silence with questions and intriguing thoughts. Your mind starts to question what just happened. Is this normal? Why is this happening to me? This is the labyrinth of confusion, and it's a place where many of us find ourselves after a spiritual awakening. Even if you've spent years on the spiritual path, reading sacred texts and diving deeply into practices, the experience of awakening is like arriving in an unfamiliar country where the language, customs, and even the air seem strange. The mind loves to navigate familiar landscapes, but awakening is a territory it cannot map. It's beyond the scope of imagination, something you cannot prepare for with mere thoughts or concepts. So you start seeking anchors in spiritual teachings, books, and philosophies. You embark on a voracious quest through scriptures, eager to validate and name your experience. But what can you do amidst the confusion? Feeling confused is natural, but don't let it turn into panic or obsessive searching. Although it's tempting to seek immediate answers, sometimes the deepest wisdom comes from sitting with the unknown. There's a lesson in the very confusion you're experiencing. It's like a fog that forces you to slow down and pay attention to your surroundings, to become present. Instead of compulsively seeking external validation, allow moments of silence to seep in. Silence, in its subtle power, serves as a bridge to deeper understanding. It connects you to a state of being that doesn't demand immediate answers, a space where you can simply exist. When you quiet the mind's clamor, you create space for your inner wisdom to emerge. So, while it's natural to turn to texts or spiritual teachings for clarity, remember that your ultimate compass is within. You don't always need a map to navigate the waters of awakening. Sometimes, you just need to be still and let the currents guide you. Your journey may be filled with questions, but those questions are signs prompting you to explore further and deeper. Instead of fearing the unknown, try to embrace it. The beauty of awakening is something that continuously unfolds, revealing layers you didn't even know existed. Confusion isn't an obstacle. It's more like a detour, a winding path that may be longer, but is rich with panoramic views you would have missed on the straight road. See it as an invitation to dive deeper, listen more closely, and exercise a level of patience and openness you may never have explored before. Imagine discovering a new radio station that plays music resonating deeply with your soul. But as you tune in, you realize other stations now sound static, distorted, or completely silent. This encapsulates the feeling of disconnection that often accompanies spiritual awakening. As you draw closer to your true self, you may notice that the circle around you starts to shift. Interactions with old friends become complicated, and you find yourself retreating into silence where you once freely engaged. Topics that once captivated you now seem shallow. People who were once your pillars suddenly seem like distant stars, still visible, but far away. Your priorities shift quickly. Awakening can feel like you're inhabiting new skin, and it's not uncommon to feel lonely during this transformative phase. You may find yourself craving meaningful conversations and connections that nourish rather than drain your spiritual energy. What should you do when faced with disconnection? Feeling disconnected is not a call for you to try to fit back into your old mold. Embrace the uniqueness of your new self, even if it confuses or alienates others. This journey isn't about them. It's about you. As you evolve, it can be challenging not to be affected or hurt by others, but it's essential to remember the original reason for your journey, to stay true to yourself. This period of doubt and vulnerability is a delicate moment that requires you to protect your newly discovered self like a sensitive sprout. Connect with spiritual allies who listen without judgment and provide a sanctuary for your evolving beliefs. Choose spaces where your heart feels heard, rather than places that force you to expose or defend your journey. It's like being a sapling in a forest of ancient trees. While they may tower over you, remember that you too are growing at your own pace and in your own direction. It may feel lonely initially, but rest assured, you are not on this journey alone. Seek kindred spirits who can offer nourishment for your soul, just as rain and soil nurture the sapling. Disconnection is not precisely an ending, but rather a moment of passage. It's like crossing a bridge that links the old world to the new. You will find different but equally valuable connections that align with your authentic self. Awakening is not a magic switch that suddenly dissolves the ego and bathes you in perpetual serenity. In fact, becoming awakened often means you will experience more pain, not less. But why? Because awakening peels back layers of ignorance. It's like flipping a switch that turns on a brighter light in a room. Now you can see everything, even the dust and stains that were always there but not visible before. When awakened, you will find it easier to enter a state of heightened consciousness. However, habits are powerful, and sometimes you will revert to your old unconscious ways. It is during these moments that the contrast becomes palpable, and you feel a deeper sense of pain than before. In an unawakened state, you may not even notice the impact of your actions on yourself or others. But once awakened, every emotion and interaction carries weight. This is because your connection to your inner self, as well as to the world around you, becomes more intense. It's not just your own pain. You become acutely aware of the suffering of others and even the collective anguish of the world. Your senses are heightened. Empathy and sensitivity, which were once secondary, now become the main characteristics of your awakened state. As counterintuitive as it may seem, the pain you feel is actually a positive indicator. It shows that you are deeply attuned to life. Trying to block the pain won't work. If you try, it will come back with greater intensity. Instead, find a way to express this heightened sensitivity. If tears come, let them flow. If a scream is forming within you, release it. Channel this feeling into creative activities like writing, painting, or gardening. Allowing yourself to express the pain is not a sign of weakness, but of profound strength. By giving pain an outlet, you're not just releasing it, but also transforming it into something beautiful or meaningful. Think of it as a pressure relief valve. If the pressure gets too high, you need to release some of it to avoid an explosion. Essentially, the increased pain post-awakening is a call to be more authentic, more compassionate, and more attuned to life's complexities. Acknowledge the pain, but also see it as a tool for deeper understanding and connection, both with yourself and the world around you. The journey of awakening often leads you to a perplexing stage, an existential crisis. Sure, the term is casually thrown around as a buzzword, but existentialism is used by many who question their place in the world. When you are truly awakened, the question, "Who am I?" stops being a casual riddle and becomes a pressing dilemma that gnaws at you from the inside out. Your old identity, the one you wore like a familiar jacket, suddenly feels too tight or too loose. It's as if you've outgrown it, but you're still unsure what your new size is. You feel trapped in limbo, unable to connect with your old self, but also uncertain about this new emerging you. Questions like, "Why am I here?" or "What is my purpose?" are no longer abstract. They become urgent, compelling you to seek answers. This is a tumultuous phase. It's like being at a crossroads, but instead of 2 or 3 paths, there are countless routes swirling in all directions, each claiming to be your true way. It's frightening and, let's be honest, a bit terrifying. Here's what you can do during your existential crisis. First, acknowledge that you can't go back. Your old self is a chapter that has ended, and trying to reopen it will only bring more pain. And before you know it, you will find the sign or signs that guide you to the next phase of your journey. Your existential crisis may feel like an endless cycle of uncertainty, but it's also a stage that nearly every awakened individual must go through. The fact that you are questioning is proof that you are growing. Even if the answers aren't readily available, the search for them is a valuable step toward a deeper understanding of who you truly are. The awakening can be so enlightening that it's easy to feel like you've unlocked some cosmic secret. It's not uncommon to begin seeing yourself as someone special, a guide in a world that seems lost. The belief that you are chosen or superior can easily seep into your consciousness. You might feel a strong urge to awaken those around you, to make them see what you perceive as beneficial for them. However, this is where caution is needed. Your journey is unique and belongs solely to you. Everyone has their own path, complete with individual lessons and their own timing. Trying to speed up someone else's spiritual progress is like trying to force a flower bud open. It won't speed up the blooming process and may even harm it. Don't confuse your empathy with a free pass to give advice that wasn't asked for. Good intentions can sometimes translate into unwanted interference. So, keep your wisdom to yourself unless it is sought. Your primary tool should be pure, non-judgmental love. Love can be a gentle touch that allows people to consider new perspectives without feeling pressured. Think of your conversations like a cup of tea. Love should be the water, the base, and your wisdom should be like the tea leaves, subtly flavoring the interaction, but without overpowering it. If someone is ready and open, they will ask for more tea leaves. Otherwise, a warm cup of water is already comforting on its own. Remember, awakening is a unique and deeply personal experience. While your insights may seem like the missing piece for someone else's journey, They may not be ready to fit them into their own life picture. And that's perfectly fine. So, continue sharing your love and keep your wisdom available for those who truly seek it. Awakening is both a gift and a challenge, a dance between clarity and confusion. Your authentic journey will guide you, and your empathy will enrich the world around you. Thank you for watching, and of course, to dive deeper into your spiritual journey, consider subscribing to the channel, liking, and sharing. See you in the next video.